Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Never Seen It Oscar Special. My name is Trent. I am sitting here once again with my wife, Betsy.
It's Oscar time!
Betsy, this is our 4th annual Oscar Special where we are going to cover all 10 this year, all 10 Oscar movies, Oscar-nominated movies for Best Picture all together. Betsy, holy crap, we're here again.
It's always weird to remember that this is number 4.
Yep.
But we're celebrating our 3rd anniversary pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because we started this whole podcast around Oscar season.
Yeah.
So the first thing we did, our first big project, was all of the Best Picture nominees that year.
All those movies from 2020. Hey, remember 2020?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
We'll pretend we don't remember, though.
Yeah, we did 4. I think that was the year that it was 8 movies. We did 4 movies. Then we took a break away from Oscar movies and we did 2 movies that, hey, guess what? This isn't just going to be Oscar movies podcast type of episodes.
Yeah, it was stuff that you could expect on the regular.
Yeah, so how this is going to go, if this is the first time you're listening to this podcast, welcome.
Welcome.
The normal way we do episodes is we sit down and talk about a movie that we have not seen yet. We say what we know about the movie, we take a break, and we go and watch the movie and react to it. In this case, we've already seen all 10 of the Oscar-nominated movies.
You can go back and listen to all those episodes.
Absolutely. So this is going to be a spoiler-free discussion of all 10 Oscar movies. Betsy and I have individually sat down to rank 1 through 10 all 10 movies.
We are 2 people with 2 opinions. And this is the hardest thing I do every single year. I don't know if this is harder or our year-end special is harder, but I feel like I say it every time. I'm not good at ranking things.
Betsy hates doing this every single year we do it.
Well, this year, above many that we have been doing this, even before we had a podcast, even before I officially was ranking, it feels so tight. Like, there is not one movie in here that I would describe as an absolute dud, an absolute stinker. I think they were all good to really good to great.
I would say the bar is very high this year.
And because of that, my list has been so fluid. Like, I'll have a lineup set and then I'll listen back to an episode and go, shit, do I want to put that higher? Or I listen to somebody else's commentary about it and I'm like, damn it, yeah, that movie is really good. Do I want to move it? And I have to keep pulling myself back.
You also have to stick to your guns at some point.
I know. And so this year, more than any, though, I feel like the difference between 1 and 2 and 3, those 3 could probably rotate around, or 3 and 4 and 4 and 5. I don't feel great about where some of the movies are, not because I don't believe they belong there, but because there were so many movies I wanted to put above them that I'm like, oh my God, how did this one end up way down here?
Yeah, I had the same kind of thing this year. And I'll say, in previous years, I went back and listened to a couple of our previous Oscar specials to prepare for this. And most years, we're pretty close. At the very least, our top, our middle, and our bottom are very much similar. They might just get jumbled around within the top 3, the middle 4, and the bottom 3.
With very rare exception.
I feel like this year is going to be the first year where we are going to vastly differ.
All over the place. We'll see.
I fully believe this. So, again, Betsy and I made our own lists, and I have no idea how Betsy ranked her list, and she has no idea how I ranked my movies. So, to start off, we're going to go in alphabetical order, 1 through 10, and say where on our list we ranked them.
And talk about them at that time.
And we're going to talk about each movie just in general. And we're going to try really hard not to spoil anything here. If we have to say some kind of spoiler, we will warn you.
Yeah, plug your ears and go la, 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 la.
Yeah, hit that nice little skip button that you have on your podcast app. So, Betsy, ladies first, every year we are starting off with American fiction. Top of the list, where do you have American fiction?
I have placed American fiction as my number 3.
Number 3.
I struggled for a while with this one because there is a very large part of me that was like, is this like number 2 material? Is this number 1 material? I don't know. But then I had some other movies that I was like, I'm going to just bump those up a little higher. This one ended at number 3.
Well, Betsy, I listened to some of those little voices there. I have American Fiction at number 2.
All right. So yeah, we're in the same vein. This is a movie. Every year we have one of these where I've kind of heard about it. I like the people who are in it, but I don't really know what the movie is about. And because this is a movie about being Black in America, it's amongst other things about that.
Yeah,
there are lots of other thematic things going on. On the surface, this does not seem like a movie that should speak to me in any capacity. And then we started watching this movie, and it is so cutting and outrageous and just keeps upping the fucking ante. And I was laughing hysterically. But then alternatively, there's these like really sweet family moments, and I am like moved nearly to tears. And I'm like, I do not know what is happening to me right now. But this movie had some real heft, some real impact, and it needed to be in my top tier.
Well said. I remember when we did that episode, and again, we knew very, very little about that movie other than the initial trailer that came out for it that just says, okay, here's this writer. He wrote a book that is just kind of a send up of people who are making fun of Black culture
or people who don't get it, or they think they get it.
Yeah. And, he's doing this under a fake name, and the hijinks are going to be about him hiding his identity. It's really not that. Really, this movie is about a guy who cannot connect with society. More than anything else, it is a family movie. He can't connect with his family. He feels ostracized, and he pushes people away, and it all comes back to family. So I remember saying in that episode, man, this really, really is going to be pushed up my list. I don't know where I'm going to have it, but I know it's going to be up there. And yeah, number 2.
As I said in the intro here, this list is so fluid. This one easily could have been my number 1. Like it's that strong a movie, and I enjoyed myself so much that there's a part of me that's like, fuck it, put it at the top.
I had the same thought.
But then I'm like, okay, just step back, really think about it. 3 feels really good. I'm going to leave it at 3.
Yeah.
All right, Trent, to our next movie. Alphabetically, the next one is Anatomy of a Fall. Where do you have this movie?
So Anatomy of a Fall is a weird one because I can see myself really digging into a movie like this and studying it. And I don't normally study a whole lot of movies, except for this podcast, and especially not outside of the podcast anyway. But I ended up putting Anatomy of a Fall only at number 8.
Okay.
So mainly I put it down that far, not because I didn't enjoy the movie or I thought that the movie was bad. It's just there are so many other movies that spoke to me so much more. And this is going to be a theme throughout this entire special, where movies just showed up, stayed in our minds, and just never left. Anatomy of a Fall is kind of a forgettable movie for me, and I think it might be because of the language barrier. There was so much French. There's so much weird things happening within the French judicial system that I don't understand. And yeah, I think the acting is what shines through here. Sandra Hüller, who got nominated for Best Actress, absolutely deserved it. I don't care what anybody else says. She deserves that Oscar. And when we get to it, we're going to talk about more Oscar stuff at the end of the episode. But when we get to it, holy shit, I might pick her as my dark horse here. But Betsy, where do you have Anatomy of a Fall?
Another one that I struggled for a long time of where this fit. And ultimately, Trent, I have this at number 4.
Okay.
Because I didn't struggle with the language barrier as much as you did, simply because I think the story is so compelling that it cannot, it doesn't let you go. We've had so many discussions about this and debates about it. And I listened back to our episode and it just started my brain firing in all cylinders again. Like, what really happened in this movie? Because, of course, the point of the movie is not to tell you what actually happened.
Yeah. The movie itself is about someone who died tragically, relating to the main character here, and we don't know what happened. And you don't get to know what happened by the end of this movie.
No, but it's all about perceptions of people and marriage and the struggles of a marriage and children and parents and, French judicial law. And it was so compelling. And like you said, Sandra Hüller is a fucking powerhouse in this movie. I didn't expect her to be this good. Like when she really gets going, it's phenomenal. And the son, that actor is so good. It's one of those movies, once you've seen it, it's like a puzzle. You just want to think about it. And when I was watching the movie, I had ebbs and flows of what I thought really happened. As I was talking to you about it, my opinions were completely changing. When I was listening to it again a few weeks ago, it was changing again. And I love that a movie can give you so many interpretations.
Yeah, I feel like this is maybe this year's Tar. Remember last year with Tar?
Oh, yeah. You
ended up really, really liking Tar.
And you weren't that into it.
And it was really kind of a mind fuck.
Yeah.
And I did not appreciate that.
See, and I think you're right.
You like stuff like that.
Yeah. Any movie that makes you really question what it is you're looking at.
Yeah.
And they're like, but we're not going to tell you. You have to figure it out on your own. And whatever you think, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What if I think something different?
I think
that's also right.
One of the things that we said about it when we were doing our social media posts is this movie is not what you think it's about.
Yes, it is about a man who died, but it's all about how you interpret that event. And there's so many people in this movie interpreting it. And I really, really enjoyed it.
All right, moving on to the next one. Betsy, I feel like this is another one where we are going to differ, but where do you have Barbie?
Okay, so Barbie.
Are you sitting down, everybody?
This is one that some people have as their favorite movie of the year, or in their very, very top tier. I really enjoyed Barbie when we saw it in the theater, okay? I have thought about Barbie a lot. It is absolutely the one that I am desperate to watch again.
It has been in the culture for over half a year now. Mm-hmm. There's been all sorts of internet discourse about it.
Yes. But when I'm being really honest with myself, Barbie did not strike the chord with me, the emotional chord that it did with a lot of people. So ultimately, of the 10, I'm putting this at number 6.
All right. I have Barbie at number 7, so not as far apart as what I expected.
So the reason for that, I think, like I said, it didn't hit me like hardcore the way it hit some people. I didn't sob in the theater or anything like that. It didn't have that kind of impact. I thought it was so entertaining, and I'm really rooting for it to win at least production design, because we went on and on about that when we recorded the episode.
Absolutely.
It is bright. It is fun. It is
very pink.
Entertaining as shit. It is moving and smart. I really like this movie, but as I keep saying, something needs to move down the list. And unfortunately for me, it had to be Barbie. I just had other movies I wanted higher on the list. Yeah. So by default, this is what I was saying again in the intro. Why is Barbie so far down the list? Because it has to be.
Something has to be at the bottom.
I don't want it to be number 6, but something had to be. And that's where Barbie has to go.
All right. So I've been having this conversation with myself here for a little while. For the past 3 weeks since we've been talking about, okay, we need to start putting our lists together. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to old episodes and listening to previous specials that we've done. And I was trying to think, okay, of these Oscar lists, there's gotta be something in here that is fan favorite. It is blockbuster, movie busting, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I was thinking to myself, what's the Top Gun Maverick of this year? Because last year, Top Gun Maverick got nominated for Best Picture, and it deserved it.
It sure did.
Barbie is this year's Top Gun Maverick, which is a strange thing to say.
I get it.
But I think I'm right.
I'm not going to disagree with you. It's a cultural phenomenon. It was masterfully made. A movie called Barbie, about what it's about, shouldn't work. but it did. And it worked really, really, really well.
And it also kind of subverts your expectations to a point. Like, this is a really smart movie.
Yeah.
And you don't expect that. You expect maybe kind of a goofy, fun and romp through Barbie Land.
But you get that too.
You do.
That's why it's so great.
Right. You can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So again, I have Barbie at number 7. It's not a bad movie. I would absolutely watch the movie again, and we probably will. One reminder, one rule that we have for ourselves before we go into our awards, whether it be the Oscar special or our own Never Seen It awards, we are not allowed to watch the movie again before we do our specials.
No, even if we haven't seen them in many months, like Barbie and Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon.
Totally.
In my opinion, though, if the movie is strong enough and you remember it enough, that shouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, the only thing that we are allowed to revisit are our own episodes so that we can refresh our memory as to what we were thinking at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Well, Trent, that brings us to the 4th movie in this list. That would be The Holdovers. How do you rank this movie?
Betsy, in any other year, this might win.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not any other year. I have The Holdovers at number 5.
Okay. It's a respectable spot. It is not going to be any lower than that because I know we both really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
I, however, didn't take that approach. It's my number 2.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay.
So you tell me why you have this at number 5.
Mainly, number 5 for me is because it is a small movie. There's not much meat on the bones. What you're getting here is a nice story of a cranky man and his student.
I mean, there's more than that.
There's more than that. I'm being very reductive here.
General.
I get that. But I really did enjoy this movie. I love how the movie is made, how it is presented. It is a movie out of time. And if you do not understand that reference, go and watch the movie, go and listen to our episode. You will understand.
So for all of your reasons, those are why I put it higher. Because for me, it does feel exactly like you went to like a library, an old movie store, and you found this random movie from the 1970s and you pulled it off the shelf and you watched it.
Yeah.
The way he pulls this off, like the way it looks, the way it sounds, the soundtrack, the story, the emotion behind it, it's just a nice movie.
It really is.
And you know, you could have just a nice movie and I could put it at number 10. But this movie is a nice movie that is also incredibly well made.
And it's well acted.
It is one of Paul Giamatti's best roles. Dominic Sessa shows up and fucks shit up, and he has never done any movies in his entire life.
It's almost as if the movie was made for Paul Giamatti.
Right. And then...
it actually was.
And then, you know, it's funny to me that we go back and listen to that, and we were talking about the guys, and we made a comment about Divine Joy Randolph.
Yeah.
But we really kind of had her on the back burner. Meanwhile, she's going to win a fucking Oscar.
Absolutely.
Like at this point, that's going to happen. Yeah, the 3 stars are so good together. It's a compelling story. It's something I really want to watch over and over and over again. I could see that becoming like a comfort movie for me.
It absolutely is.
But it's because it's also a well-rounded movie that I kept going back and forth like, do I really want to put this one higher up? But I had to go with my guns.
Yeah.
And I can't ignore the fact that I want to watch this movie as badly as I do. So I had to put it at number 2. Again, could have been my number 1 if I was feeling real ballsy.
Honestly, this is a movie that was probably at number 2 or maybe higher. I honestly do not remember. But we've seen so many movies since then that I've had different thoughts about things and I've moved things around, and this is just where it ended up. I don't like that it's only at number 5, but hey, there were 4 other movies that I enjoyed more.
There you go.
All right, moving on to another movie that we haven't seen for many, many months, Killers of the Flower Moon. Betsy, where do you got this one?
So me and Martin Scorsese. I do not dislike Martin Scorsese. I do not.
We like him in this house.
But what I find is, for me, I have to watch some of his movies more than once to really appreciate them. I didn't really get The Departed the first time I watched it. And as I watched it more, I was like, this is a fucking brilliant movie.
Yeah, and I really do like The Departed. And I think it wasn't until you sat down with me and I said why I liked it, that you really started to get it more.
Yeah, sometimes I just need an outside perspective to kind of tell me what's so great about this movie. Like, we weren't that big on The Irishman a few years ago.
No.
But then I've talked to people who love The Irishman, okay? So I'm about 50-50 as far as if I like it at all or if I like it the first time. And as it happens, I really liked Killers of the Flower Moon the first time I watched it. The only time I watched it.
The only time, yes.
I could see myself enjoying it more. If we took a different approach to this and we were watching movies multiple times, this one might be higher on the list. But ultimately, I have placed it at number 8 because there were just so many good movies this year that this one kept going down and down and down.
I could have absolutely seen it going down that far. I have Killers of the Flower Moon at number 6.
Okay, so again, in the same quadrant.
Kind of. Again, it is not a bad movie whatsoever. I think you would agree with that. But I think the way it is constructed, the way that Scorsese is presenting things, that final bit at the end, we're not going to talk about here, but that final bit at the end is just coming out of left field that I didn't really appreciate. And the more time that goes by since we've seen this movie, the more I kind of don't like it.
Or you haven't really thought about it, but when you do...
It hasn't stuck with me like a lot of these other movies have.
There's elements of it that have, like Lily Gladstone. Again, we're going to talk about acting categories and things later, but the fact that we are talking about how she's going for lead actress and not supporting actress, which is the conversation that was happening last summer before the movie opened.
Sure.
And then we saw that movie and I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Fuck
absolutely.
Yeah.
She deserves leading.
Put her in the lead category. I hate that bullshit of put them in the category they can win. No,
just
put them
because
in the category
just
they
because
belong
big name
in.
actors are in there as well.
Yeah, so like she is great in it. Robert De Niro, I think a lot of people have problems with what he's doing.
I have a problem with him.
I thought he was really good. I thought it was interesting. The score for me is phenomenal. In another year, maybe that would have a chance of getting more recognition. It's nominated, but it's not going to win. And so there's a lot of elements that I really, really liked. But sometimes when I'm making these lists, the other factor is, am I just going to sit down and watch a 3.5-hour movie?
That's the other thing. I kind of don't have the desire to sit down and watch it again. Whereas The Departed, I have seen 10 times or more.
That's the trick with Scorsese is he is not a man of brevity. He is going to tell the story in as short or as long as he feels is necessary.
Yeah.
I appreciate him. I respect the hell out of Martin Scorsese, and I will watch anything he makes because I know he knows what the fuck he's doing.
And I think this coming year, we're probably going to go to some of his back catalog that we haven't watched yet.
That's kind of on the front burner, yeah.
Yeah.
But I couldn't bring myself to put this movie any higher because there were just other movies I felt stronger about.
All right. Well, Betsy, I think we're going to do something here that we haven't ever done before on this podcast.
Uh-oh.
We're going to take a break for a word from our sponsor. So I guess we'll be right back.
What's the matter, Billy? You look bored just sitting there clicking that pen.
Well, Becky, I've already listened to this week's episode of Never Seen It, and there's nothing left for me to do. Guess I'll just sit here and click this pen until next Sunday.
Wait, Billy, what if I told you that the Never Seen It crew puts out 4 other shows every month?
4 shows? How do I get those?
It's easy. Just go to patreon.com/neverseenitpod, and for $5 per month, you get access to all their extra content.
Wow, that sounds a whole lot better than clicking this pen.
It sure does, Billy. It sure does.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Becky and Billy, for those words. Betsy, why don't we move on?
All right, so we've reached the halfway point and onward to the final 5. So our next entry, number 6, is going to be Maestro. Trent, where do you have Maestro?
I feel like this has just been a foregone conclusion since we watched the movie that Maestro was going to be at number 10.
Yeah, it's number 10.
It's number 10. And again, we said it in the episode, it's not a bad movie. There are no stinkers in this entire bunch.
I think that Maestro is a lot better than people give it credit for.
Yes.
However, you know, there's problems with it. I was listening to that one again today. Like I wasn't going to re-listen to that episode because I was like, I'm going to put it at number 10. That's where it belongs.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? No, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to listen to it, make sure I know why I'm putting it at number 10.
And something, like we keep saying, something has to be at the bottom, and this just feels right.
Because when you're watching it, you kind of don't feel anything.
No.
And that was the problem with it. He is trying things stylistically, and it's kind of interesting. There's some beautiful cinematography.
Yeah, some things work really, really well, and some things just don't hit.
And I talked about it in that episode. There is something genuine and really endearing about Bradley Cooper's earnestness. Like, if you watch this guy, he's like a little kid in a candy store. He just wants you to like him. It's really endearing, and he's trying really hard to make a movie that'll stick so he gets some recognition. And this man has so many Academy Award nominations.
But he is getting recognition. I think that's really the thing. He's just not going to win.
No.
That's okay. You are multiple Academy Award nominee Bradley Cooper in
multi-hyphenate.
In multiple things.
Yeah.
Directing, acting.
He's the kind of guy, in another 20 years, if he has never won a competitive one, they will give him one. He doesn't have to worry about that. It's going to be fine, Bradley.
Sure. And as we said in the episode, we keep saying that, but as we said in the episode, we love Bradley Cooper. There's nothing wrong with the guy. We really, really like him.
But Maestro, we didn't like so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people should give it a chance. I think everybody who's shitting on it is just doing that to shit on it.
Go watch A Star Is Born. His version of that movie, fantastic. That was my number one movie that year.
If you want to see that he is, in fact, very capable of making a great movie, go watch that one because it's there. You can see this guy knows what he's doing. He makes very old-fashioned Hollywood kind of movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes they don't stick, though.
All right, moving on to the yin of Barbie's yang. Oppenheimer is up next, Betsy. Where do you have Christopher Nolan's latest long-ass movie?
It's going to win Best Picture. Let's be real. I think everybody knows Oppenheimer is a fucking masterpiece.
It is.
It is easily Christopher Nolan's best work. He's going to get Best Director. But Betsy is going to put it at number 5. And I may get some grief for this simply because everyone else has it at the top. But that's okay.
This is a Betsy list.
This is a Betsy list. And similar to Killers of the Flower Moon, I'm not just going to pop on a 3.5-hour Christopher Nolan movie. I like Christopher Nolan a lot. I really do. And this movie is no exception. He is not one that I just put on the way a lot of people do, though. So that's where I have it, number 5. I'll elaborate more as you discuss. But Trent, where do you have Oppenheimer?
You know what Betsy just said there about this not really being a movie that she would throw on, and she's not really just going to sit down and watch a 3-hour movie, and I just can't agree with that because it's my number 1.
I kind of had a feeling. Listen, when we went and saw both of those movies, when we did the Barbenheimer, we didn't do it the same day like a lot of people did. But those were 2 movies that in the theater we saw one weekend and then the following weekend.
Of course.
And even at that time, Barbie had more of an impact for me. Oppenheimer had more of an impact for you. At the end of the year, when we did our Never Seen It Awards, it was the movie you most wanted to rewatch.
It still is, though.
You have been holding your 4K in your hands, waiting just to pop it in. Like, what if I just started it? So I get it. Like, when it comes down to it, I have not thought about Oppenheimer the way you've thought about Oppenheimer these last 6 or whatever months it's been. It doesn't pop into my head all the time. Yes, I'm constantly thinking about it because everybody around me is talking about it. But the actual experience of watching it, the actual desire to do it again, I want to watch it again. So God help you if you do it without me. But it's finding the time and the energy to commit to a movie about, practically blowing up the world.
Yeah. So I talked about it in the episode, and immediately after I walked out of that theater, I was thinking to myself, man, I wish it was longer. I wanted it to be 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. You wanted more.
And I immediately wanted to watch it again. And I don't get that with a lot of movies. I certainly don't get that with a lot of 3-hour movies.
Yeah. And there's so many people that have done this movie like 5, 6 times.
Sure. And in the theater as well.
And same thing. If we had a different approach to this podcast, if we had the time where we could watch every single movie at least twice, this probably would be higher on my list.
Maybe.
Like, I think it very well could be, because I'm going to just keep repeating it. Very fluid list this year.
Yeah.
Something had to be lower. Unfortunately, Oppenheimer ended up in the middle because I just had other movies I wanted to put higher.
And inherently, this is my kind of movie.
It is.
Now, besides the fact Christopher Nolan being a fantastic director and all of the actors, it just is my kind of movie. I love a historical drama, but there can be bad ones. There absolutely can be bad ones.
There are several.
Yeah.
So many. We could go back to kind of the same history and time and take one of those actors from Oppenheimer and talk about Pearl Harbor, and that movie's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's the difference. For that movie, Pearl Harbor, that you're talking about, that movie was made for entertainment. Oppenheimer is kind of trying to teach you something, and not a lot of people want to go to the theater and be lectured at, especially by a nerdy scientist.
But it's also really entertaining, and that's the brilliance of Christopher Nolan.
He merges both things together. You're learning something along the way, and the difference between Oppenheimer and some of his other really high-minded movies is that you don't feel dumb by watching it.
No,
You look at Interstellar, you look at Tenet, you look at Inception. You come out of those movies and you might feel like a dumbass if you don't get it. Oppenheimer, you don't get that. So if nothing else, you cannot tell me that this movie is not quality. Like this, okay, the way I do my list here for the Oscars, this is just me. I want the Oscars to be objective quality. And that's how I'm approaching this. I'm kind of approaching this as an Oscar voter, and I'm kind of sprinkling my own opinions in there. This is just kind of how I am. So,
but see, if I did that, then I would have to put this at number one. If I objectively pick the best movie, then yeah, it's gonna be Oppenheimer. It's structurally, direction, like what it's been able to do as a film, how successful it's been. Yeah, no, there's no question. But I am not an objective human being.
Yes.
So with that, we're going to jump to our next movie. Right after Oppenheimer, we have Past Lives. Trent, where have you got Past Lives?
The diametrically opposed kind of movie from Oppenheimer. I have Past Lives at number 4.
Interesting.
Yeah. Past Lives to me was definitely the most personal of the movies out there. And you can tell that by, if you listen to our episode, Betsy and I are just kind of talking about each other and ourselves.
Oh, every time I tried to bring it back to the movie, you were like, no, I want to talk more about me.
I want to talk more about me and my past life. So I definitely felt the most emotions from Past Lives. And that's really kind of what I'm looking for a lot of these Oscar movies, because normally we would not go out of our way to watch a movie like this, except for this special. And yes, we do want to experience some things. We're not going to poo-poo these emotional movies just because they are that way. But Past Lives to me is a nice story. Much like you said about The Holdovers, this one spoke to me a little bit more personally just because of the subject matter and the ages of the people and the way people are connecting together. And it's a great modern love story. And it's not even really a love story. It is a friendship story more than anything.
I struggled with where to put Past Lives. And what you were just saying about Oppenheimer and objective, like good movies and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that's ultimately what put those movies higher and this one at number 7. Do not mistake me. This is another one. I'm like, how is Past Lives number
eyes
7?
are very wide right now.
This doesn't make any sense. Why is it so low? It boils down to there were just other movies I wanted to put higher. It is nothing against this movie. This movie is beautiful. I understand why so many people put it at number 1. Celine's song, I really wish had been nominated. I understand the fervor behind when she didn't get nominated, because she was really masterful at just slow burn tension. And when you get to the end of the movie, there's such a release that how you cannot be like crying in the aisles, I don't know. You're not human. I wanted to put this higher, but I just had other ones that ultimately, when you're ticking little boxes, little differences between this one and that one and where I want it to be, I just put other things higher. It is nothing against this movie, but something has to go lower, and that's where Past Lives went for me.
And for me, like Past Lives, if I would have had more of an emotional reaction that I was kind of expecting, I almost expected to be ruined by Past Lives. It didn't, though. This movie really could have been my number one, depending on how everything else shook out and what my reaction was coming out of it. But I didn't have that, so I couldn't put it above these other ones.
Like I said, if we were to go and watch all these a second time, I think this lineup would be completely different.
Maybe.
I don't know. From where I am sitting right now, because the difference is so minute between these movies for me, I easily could just say, fuck it, and move it somewhere completely different.
That being said, Past Lives, we both definitely recommend it. It's
you
really
should
good.
absolutely watch it. It is a lovely movie. I think it was unexpected. It is quiet but beautiful. Yeah, I'm into it. I really am. Do not mistake me. I don't want people to come at me with the hate because I put Past Lives at number 7. I wanted it to be higher, but they can't all be number 1.
All right. I have a feeling what the rest of this list is going to look like. But Betsy, I need to ask you the question. Poor Things is next. Where do you got this one?
Well, by process of elimination, you may have determined that Poor Things is my number 1.
Number 1.
I again, trying to figure out what I wanted at the top of this list. And then this weird ass movie comes into my life, and it is quirky and strange, and the music sticks with you, and the acting is phenomenal. You're getting these performances like you have never seen from this group of actors. And, you know, I feel like over the course of the podcast, we've been priming the Yorgos Lanthimos pump for me, and it just finally, we got there. And it's done with such confidence and so much color and life, and whimsy is a word we used a lot in the episode, that I needed it. I needed this to be my number 1, Trent. So where do you have Poor Things?
I have Poor Things at number 3.
Yeah.
And with my top 3, I could shuffle them around and I would have been just fine with any of them at the top.
So you could have put this at number 1 just as easily.
Absolutely. I really enjoy. I said in that episode, I kind of love this movie. And I think it still resonates to me now. This is a movie that I would absolutely watch again. Like you said about Yorgos Lanthimos, we also covered his movie The Lobster back when we did our weird movie series.
I'm absolutely now going to go back and watch The Favorite because I don't think I got The Favorite the first time.
Neither of us did.
And now I've seen a couple more of his movies. I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to revisit that, and maybe I'm going to get it better.
And sometimes Yorgos had Emma Stone in that movie and this movie, and sometimes it just takes a director and actor combo to get each other's deepest, darkest weirdness out of them.
Yeah, they just understand. They have this unspoken language.
Yeah.
And they get something that no other combination of people would have achieved.
Right. Think about all of the different things that Emma Stone is doing in this movie, and could you see her doing that in any other kind of movie?
No.
And I don't know if anybody would do these things in this movie.
And that's the other thing, is who could do it other than Emma Stone?
Exactly.
With Yorgos specifically. Like,
yes.
This is based on a book. This is something that could have been adapted at any time since this book came out with a different director, with a different actor, and it would have been a different movie. But it's just so confidently done. Everybody is committed to this bit, and it's so strange that you just have to respect it. And so it's number 1 for me.
All right. Very respectable number 3 for me.
But that brings us, Trent, to the end of our list.
Yeah.
The last of the 10 Best Picture nominees, The Zone of Interest. The last movie, the hardest movie for us to get. Where do you have this one ranked?
I have The Zone of Interest at number 9.
Ditto.
I kind of figured that. And not because, again, this is a different kind of a thing. It's barely a movie.
It is in every way a cinematic masterpiece.
It is
but
an art
also
piece.
nothing is happening. But meanwhile, everything is happening.
Yeah. This is an experience kind of a movie. You have to pay attention at all times. And you're having to pay attention to things that you would normally wouldn't have to pay attention to. So you as a movie watcher, you as a movie goer, you kind of don't know what to expect going into this. But as long as you know going in that this is an audio focused movie, not a visually focused movie, all audio. If you know that going in, then I think you can experience it in the way that the director really wanted.
Yeah, this is a disturbing movie. It is a powerful movie. It is very strange at times, and you're having to remember, like, wait, what's like interpreting a couple of things.
Yeah.
But it's done with a lot of strength. Like, he really understood the assignment, what he was trying to achieve here.
There was a deft touch to all of the different things that he was including in here, and it was done very skillfully as a filmmaker can.
I think what it boils down to with this one is I just don't foresee myself popping on the Zone of Interest.
No.
It's one that it's a one and done, like, kind of a movie for me.
This year is full of these kind of art house kinds of movies, but this one, there's nothing entertaining about it. I said in the intro, I had kind of a disgusted scowl on my face throughout about 3/4 of it.
Which meant you were getting it. You understood exactly what he was doing, and it was hitting you the way it was supposed to.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not an entertaining movie. It is a very upsetting movie. And I'm just not emotionally equipped to watch this kind of a movie over and over and over again.
No, and as we keep on saying, it is kind of overwhelming to the senses at times.
Yeah.
Like not a spoiler, but the very, very beginning of the movie has the title of the movie, white text, black background, and the title just kind of fades out ever so slightly. You get 4 minutes of darkness and just audio. That's all you get for 4 minutes of the movie. You kind of think that there's something wrong with the movie to begin with, but there's also audio going on and there's things to listen to. So you get the vibe of, okay, I need to pay attention here.
Yeah. He sets the tone and does not let you go the rest of the movie. And that is the mark of a very skilled filmmaker. So I give all props for that. I think it's definitely going to win international picture. Like, that's kind of, again, a foregone conclusion for me. But yeah, just for me, I can't put it any higher than that, simply because I just don't foresee myself rewatching this a lot of times, if ever.
Probably not. But all right, with that is our 10 movies. Betsy, why don't you recap from 10 to 1 your list for 2024?
All right. At number 10, I have Maestro. Number 9, The Zone of Interest. Number 8, Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 7, Past Lives. Number 6, Barbie. Number 5, Oppenheimer. Number 4, Anatomy of a Fall. Number 3, American Fiction. Number 2, The Holdovers. And my number 1 pick, Poor Things.
And for my list, from number 10, Maestro. Number 9, The Zone of Interest. Number 8, Anatomy of a Fall. Number 7, Barbie. Number 6, Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 5, The Holdovers. Number 4, Past Lives. Number 3, Poor Things. Number 2, American Fiction. And number 1, Oppenheimer. Man, I was right. Our list is about as different as they could possibly be, save for the bottom 2.
I mean, I could have come in and said, Oppenheimer is the worst movie of all time. Put it at number 10. That would have ended our marriage, I think.
That would have ended the podcast at the very least.
Yeah, there was such an abundance of riches this year.
Yes.
And I love when we actually get a layout that is this difficult to put. Like, I was thinking about this before I started re-listening to things, going, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Up until about yesterday, I didn't know what I was going to do. And even today, I had that temptation to rearrange, but I'm like, nope, stick with your guns. Just stay with it, because I could do about 20 versions of this list that would have satisfied me.
Yeah, same. You know, that's kind of what makes doing this that much, I guess, more special than anything else that we do. Like, we have our own award show, but that's just kind of silly for the most part. But this one, I think we analyze these movies more than anything else that we do, and we try to put a serious tone on a lot of this stuff, except for, you know, when we're talking about Ryan Gosling singing about being Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that that's in a Best Picture nominee.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that we can have such variety in these nominees going forward, because way back in the day, all you would get are Oppenheimer type movies.
Yeah. I also like that this year and last year, we had different picks. I think the first 2 years, though, we had the same pick for Best Picture.
No, I had the first time I had The Father, and
I forgot about that.
I had Promising Young Woman as number 2.
Got it.
We had ours flipped.
Okay. It was the year-end awards. I think we both had Promising Young Woman as something.
Right.
Both the same. Yeah, I like that we don't always end up with the same choice.
Yeah. And then again, it just kind of proves Betsy and I are different people. We have different likes. We have different dislikes.
It's also just this year, I have been fascinated watching all of the people on like Twitter sharing, okay, here, I've watched all 10. This is my ranking.
Right.
And every single one is different.
Totally.
Like, some people have The Zone of Interest as their number 1. Some people have Past Lives as their number 1. I've seen people with American Fiction as their number 1. The Holdovers is their number 1.
I had a really hard time not putting American Fiction as number 1, but I had to stick to my guns.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is there is something for everybody this year in a way that we don't often get.
I agree.
And
this
love
year is very unique in that way. So we are not done talking about Oscar stuff. We are moving on from the Best Picture category. We're going to have a discussion now about some of the other categories, some of the main ones anyway. We're not going to go through the entirety of every single Oscar.
We're not ranking things. It's just a discussion about what we think might happen tonight, because by the time this episode comes out, it's Oscar Sunday.
Indeed.
Well, one of the categories we really haven't touched on that much in our discussion is lead actor. Something could happen on Oscar night where we get an upset and Paul Giamatti goes home with the gold.
It's between two people. It's Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy. And I think the overwhelming consensus is that Cillian Murphy it's his to lose, but I don't know. Paul Giamatti has been in this business a very, very long time. He's been doing the things that you need to do in order to campaign for that award. You could absolutely see him walking away with it.
I would be thrilled.
Yes.
Thrilled if he won.
Not that Cillian Murphy doesn't deserve it.
However, I think Cillian Murphy's probably still going to win.
I think you're right.
I'm thinking the way the winds are blowing, he's going to do it. And no less worthy. He was absolutely phenomenal in Oppenheimer. Like, sometimes you forget that guy is very Irish and he's doing this like very specific, not mid-Atlantic,
it's like
but
a weird upper crust.
Weird vocal thing, and his physical form is different, and he physically looks different. Like, he looks way older in Oppenheimer than he actually is.
Sure.
The way they make him up. And it all adds to his character, and yeah, I would not be upset with him winning, and I think he's going to, and that's okay. Continuing with the actors, someone else we haven't brought up, we're probably going to get a twofer for Oppenheimer, because Best Supporting Actor is most likely going to the one, the only, Robert Downey Jr.
I don't think there is a debate, a discussion, or anything. It's going to go to Robert Downey Jr.
A phenomenal turn, Trent. Like, people could say, oh, it's a career thing. He's been in the business for 40 years and he's after after the MCU. He does this movie.
Did you see the movie?
He's fantastic. He has literally been one of the best working actors for 40 years. Like, once he got going into like the 90s, when he started getting leading roles, he got nominated for Chaplin in like 1990 or whatever that came out. Mm-hmm. He was in his 20s. And now we are over 30 years removed from that nomination. And I don't think he's been nominated in between at all.
I don't think so.
But that guy's had a fucking arc. When you look at his path, if we were talking about where Robert Downey Jr. was around, 2002 to now, it's insane. And yes, I get why people are saying the narrative of, oh, it's a big comeback. And look, he was in prison and now he's off the drugs and he's, was in the MCU and now he's.
Yeah, have you been paying attention to the man? The guy is a fantastic dude, number one. And number two, he's a really good actor.
Yeah, he has earned this. Number one is a career Oscar, yes, but it's also for a really, really good performance.
Also, he ain't done.
No. Oh,
that dude,
God.
That dude could have retired.
Never worked another day in his life.
Yeah.
I do kind of love that he made a fucking Dr. Dolittle movie after the MCU because he wanted to. It was a passion project. And then he kind of didn't really do very much. Then he makes Oppenheimer and he's going to go home with an Oscar.
There you go.
Like, it's about fucking time. So we touched on it a little. Actress in a leading role.
Oh, boy.
This is the one that could come down to the wire. The winds have been blowing Lily Gladstone's way. But then there's this nor'easter blowing in called Emma Stone. I'm still in the camp that Lily Gladstone's gonna do it. I think she's had enough momentum that it's gonna be her. But also, I remember the year that Yorgos Lanthimos had another actress win, and it was Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
And even she was like, I don't understand what's going on right now. So there's a part of me that is preparing for it because Emma Stone is really, really good in Poor Things.
She really is. And this is probably the hardest category to really decide on. Number one, because it is such a tied race. And number two, we've seen 4 out of the 5 nominees. We have not seen, Annette Bening. Was that the 5th one?
Yeah.
We haven't seen the Annette Bening movie, but we've seen the 4 others. And good God, I would be happy with any of those women winning.
And listen, give us grief if you want, but we love Annette Bening, so even that we would have been happy with.
Sure. That one would be the summation of a career.
Yeah, that would have been the career win if she was actually in the forefront.
But because we have so many other powerhouse performances here that I honestly do not know what to say here. I would be happy with any of them, but I would not be surprised with any of them winning.
You have not locked in your official Oscar ballot.
I honestly do not know. Betsy did her Oscar ballot already. I haven't done mine yet. So
I've committed, and ever since I filled it out, I've been second guessing things. But I'm not going to change it. I made my decision because all that's going to do is if I change it, and the other thing that I picked before wins, it's just going to piss me off. So
Betsy,
I have a good sense. I'm sticking with my guns.
Betsy, I kind of want Emma Stone to win. Yes, because she deserves it. But number 2, she has another one, and it's for La La Land. And that
doesn't sit well with us.
Stand.
No, it doesn't sit well with us.
No.
I think there are other things she has done that she's much better in.
So much better in this movie. You deserve it much more for this movie. So how about we just give you this one, and then you can give the other one back.
I literally asked, how close does it have to be that we give out 2? They've done ties, but it has to be so absurdly close.
Of course.
I don't think it's possible.
I would love it if that was the case.
All right. Well, we already talked about Best Supporting Actress, so let's just cover a couple of the other ones. Do you have any thoughts on animated feature film?
It's probably going to go to the Miyazaki movie.
The Boy and the Heron?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
We talked about that when we did our episode on Patreon, when we reacted to the nominations. We said if Spider-Man is going to get it for Best Animated Feature, it's going to go to the 3rd one, not the number 2 of 3.
The sum of its parts, as it were.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love that Spider-Man movie, but Miyazaki, this is probably his final movie. Give it to the man. Speaking of giving it to the man, Betsy, Christopher Nolan is going to win Best Director. It's not even a question.
The man has been at this for 20 years. It's his time. Has he been nominated a few times before?
I'm sure he has.
I think at least once, if not a couple of times. And It's amazing that he doesn't have one. But look at Scorsese, how many years that man worked. How many times he got nominated and he was always second best. And now he's also never going to win again because this year he is also nominated, but it's Christopher Nolan's time.
It really is. And again, you can't argue against it. Look at that fucking movie. How long it took him to make it, how expertly crafted it is, how long it is, and the fact that, you know, he built the fucking bomb and blew it up.
We have said this so many times. Christopher Nolan is like a brainiac filmmaker. He doesn't cut corners. He wants to do it if he can do it. It's like, we're going to make a bomb. Oh, with like special effects. We're going to make
Did you not hear what I said? We're going to blow up a bomb. And I'm sure at one point there was a non-zero chance that somebody thought, he really wants to set off a nuke? What?
All that to say, he is an incredible filmmaker who has been cranking out incredible films. And this is just the culmination of that. And I don't know where the fuck he goes from here. How do you top Oppenheimer?
I don't know.
But, you know, I think 15 or whatever years ago that was, people were saying, how do you top Inception? How do you top Interstellar? Like, he has made some absolutely amazing movies. He also loves the Fast and the Furious.
It's a good thing to like.
It's a good thing to like. Well, let's do one more category before we start wrapping this up. Another one that has been near and dear to my heart, Best Original Song. I feel like the one that has connected with people is not the one that is going to win, and this saddens me. But I am so happy to announce that I'm Just Ken will be performed at the Academy Awards by Ryan Gosling.
It took long enough for him to say yes to it.
That son of a bitch, that tease. Like, I was okay if he really, truly didn't want to do it. But it's like, dude, you just put out a Christmas EP that no one asked for and nobody wanted. And it's amazing because why the hell not?
Yeah.
It's like you knew this could happen. And it has come to pass. But ultimately, I think we all know that Billie Eilish is going to have 2 Oscars before she's, 25? She's very young.
That's so weird.
But it's a beautiful song. I get why people connect with it. It is like an emotional moment in that movie. So it's just how you feel about it. Did you like the emotional moment or do you like the earworm that will never, ever release you? Do you know how many days I find myself going, I'm just Ken anywhere? Like, it's just out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, I will start singing it.
I did not get that with that song.
I also hear it a lot more because I'm on social media. A lot more than you are.
Still, even when we were in the movie and I've heard it around, I don't think it's a very like catchy song. I don't know any of the lyrics except for the one line. I also haven't watched the movie again, so what do I know?
Meanwhile, my stupid brain is always on record, and the stuff that I choose to remember.
Your brain, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. What my brain chooses to remember and chooses to forget makes absolutely no sense. And I'm Just Ken is permanently a part of me. So I will be really interested just to see how they approach it at the Oscars. If they're going to bring out a whole bunch of the Kens from the movie, if
I'm
they're
sure
going to bring
there's going
out
to be some of them.
Celebrities, like, is Martin Scorsese going to be trucked out, like posing? Like, how silly is this going to be? Because we've had songs like this get nominated before. If you recall, back once upon a time in 1998 or whatever, when South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut came out, they had a little song called Blame Canada that was nominated for Best Original Song. And Robin Williams sang it, and they had a whole production number, and it was ridiculous. But I remember it. And that's what I'm hoping for with this one, is that they just do something so over the top and silly that it sticks with you.
What I worry about is that if this wasn't just a ploy by Ryan Gosling and the marketing people behind Barbie, which are fucking geniuses, by the way, if it isn't that, maybe they just don't have enough time to get it all together. And, you know, by the time you listen to this episode, maybe it's already been done and I'm completely wrong, but I'm with you. I'm hoping that they make it silly. I'm really hoping that it is a memorable thing. I'm really glad that he finally said yes to it. And yeah, I guess we'll see.
All right. I have one final question that I will leave you with, Trent. And I want you to see where you are now, and we're going to find out. It's happened a few times the last few years. Somebody goes home empty-handed. Which of the Best Picture nominees is getting nothing? Do you think somebody is walking home empty-handed?
Oh, geez. I mean, I'm looking at my list here. I feel like Oppenheimer is going to win a lot. American Fiction is probably going to win screenplay. Poor Things is going to win some technical stuff. Past Lives might get Best Original Screenplay, so that's maybe where I'm thinking that might go. Holdovers has some things, but that's maybe kind of high on my list.
That's a supporting actress, though, so that one we we don't really have to worry about.
You're right. Shit, it might be Killers of the Flower Moon.
You think Scorsese is going to do it again? Well, Lily Gladstone. That depends. If Lily Gladstone does not win, then you're right. That's probably the primer.
And I think there's a good chance that Maestro gets makeup. You know, I know you had a problem with it, but hey, think about it. If there's anything that movie is going to get, it's going to be that. And we talked about it in the episode.
It's true. If Maestro's going to win anything, it'll be makeup. I just kind of don't want it to.
But I guess really the only other one is Anatomy of a Fall. And I don't really remember which ones that one's kind of up for.
So I think that's where it gets dicey, because that one I think is really high up for screenplay, for original screenplay. But then you just said Past Lives is.
Right.
And not both of them can win that.
Right.
Unless, again, what are the rules for a tie? How many ties could we do this year? This is a record number of ties at this Academy Awards.
It's either going to be that or it's going to be a lot of surprises.
Yeah. I will be interested to see if there are surprises, because I feel like as I've gotten more invested in this, I've gotten more finely tuned to what should win, what will win kind of thinking.
Yeah, you pay attention a lot more to the trades than I do. You pay attention to a lot of social media stuff, but I kind of discount that because people on social media don't fucking vote for Oscars.
Oh, and I see so many counterpoint, that I'm like, okay, what I'm gleaning from this is it's one of these two. That's usually what I take away in a lot of the categories where I'm not watching all of the short stuff. I want to. One year I'm going to do it. I'm going to watch all of the shorts and the documentaries and all that stuff.
Jesus, there are people out there who are watching these Oscar movies 4, 5, 6 times at a clip. I don't have the time for that shit. I have a job.
We're also old and tired.
But I have a job, Betsy.
If I didn't have a job,
I don't understand.
I would do it.
I don't understand. I like movies a whole lot. I wouldn't do this podcast otherwise, but I have other interests. I have other interests. Yeah, you guys out there who go to these movies over and over and over again, I don't understand you.
I mean, like, I get the impulse. I just don't have the time to invest into it. So I applaud them. I appreciate it. I really do wish we had the time to watch all these movies twice. In a perfect world, I think we would. But the problem is, so many of these we do not have access to. There's still always going to be that handful of movies that gets nominated for Best Picture that is impossible to get. The Zone of Interest, I had no idea when and if we were going to be able to get that. There have been years we straight up have not been able to watch a movie before Oscars Sunday because it wasn't playing around here. And even the Zone of Interest in larger markets, I was hearing from people, was really hard to get. So I was glad that we had 2 whole weeks, even from when we watched it, before the Oscars. So if we had really wanted to, we could have. We could have done it, but again, who's got the time?
And remember last year, I think it was last year, Women Talking, the movie came out on Amazon Prime for streaming.
Like 4 days.
It was not available in any other form, to my knowledge anyway. It came out the Wednesday prior to the Oscars. This is back when we were doing 2 episodes a week. It came out on Wednesday. We did the episode that Wednesday, and we had to put the episode out a day late because of it. That's how much of a stretch that one was.
Yeah. So it's a struggle to find them and find time to watch them once, let alone do them twice. But I stand by this statement more than any other year. If I watched all of these movies again, and we've talked about this, like revisiting some year that we watched all of them and doing them all again, just to see how they compare to our rankings from that year. once you're a few years removed and you haven't thought about them, as you grow, as you age, as you watch a lot more movies from those filmmakers, as you watch more films in general, how does that influence your opinion about these movies?
Yeah.
Because this group right here, I would easily put a number of them at number 1 or number 2 or number 3, but they can't all be there.
I would love to revisit, like you said, I would love to revisit years prior to when we did this podcast.
Yeah.
Where we sit down and we haven't watched all of them. We would watch them all and probably even watch the ones that we've already seen, because we've seen a good number of them of these past, probably 15 years.
You and I have been doing this together for 10, I think.
Yeah. But to go back and revisit those years, make a list and do a ranking like we would normally do for this special, God, we would probably have to have a completely separate podcast.
We would. It would be an endeavor.
Let's have a production meeting off mic. No, we're not going to do that. But yes, every time we sit down and do a special like this, it is always entertaining to me just to hear your thoughts about these movies again and justify where you are putting them. And the same thing for me, I'm sure.
No, I'm not interested in your opinion.
Okay, well, fuck me then.
No, it is always fascinating to see where we are kind of locked in step and the stuff that is just like, wow, I watched a very different movie than you did.
Totally. And I'm not surprised that we differ so much this year, but at the same time, we watched the same movies at the same time.
Were you watching the same thing as me?
It's okay. I guess your opinion either changed or I just went off in my own direction over here while you went the other way. And that happens.
You know what it is, Trent?
What is it?
You're your own person.
I am my own person, Betsy.
And I love that about you.
And I love that about you.
Hey,
we're married. And because we're old married people, we need to wrap this up so that we can go to sleep because it's getting really late in the day. So, again, thank you very much for being along on this journey. We are on all sorts of social media pages. Instagram is Never Seen It Pod 1. Betsy posts all sorts of different clips and photos and just things from the show every so often on that page. Twitter is Never Seen It _pod. We're on there all the time announcing what we're doing. And, you can find our personal pages on there as well if you wish. Blue Sky, if you can believe it, is just Never Seen It. And we're also on Facebook.
It is also there.
It's also there. We don't really do much on Facebook because who the fuck uses Facebook anymore? But we have to have it to have the Instagram page.
It's true.
They're one and the same.
But you know what you should really do, apart from following all of those suggestions that Trent just made, is you should write us a review.
Yeah.
Did you like this special? Have you listened to some of our other shows that we've done? Go and write us a review, rate us 5 stars, tell the world that we're just the best.
And like Billy and Becky said, we also have a Patreon where we have 4 other regular shows that we do once a week at patreon.com/neverseenitpod.
Yeah, we've got the Never Seen It Movie Club, Real Love, Box Set, and The Wayback Machine, which we don't know where that's going to send us. It could be any place, anytime.
And along with all those shows, we throw in some extra bonus content. We've been putting up some conversations that Betsy and I have about whatever it is, not about movies. And we also throw in some extra fun things about, just some silly things that we record before we start the actual shows.
So yeah, join us over there. Patreon.com/neverseenitpod.
What Betsy said. With that is going to be the end of yet another Oscar special, 4 years in a row. Join us next Sunday for yet another episode of Never Seen It. Until then, my name is Trent.
My name is Betsy.
And we'll see you at the Oscars.